I am Caran-Lambar.
Hey everybody, it's Jarian, and we're back casting some games for Caran-Lambar's Carnage Cup. It's been a while since I've casted some games, so I'm excited to get back into it. So without further ado, here on the bottom of Harnan, a little seen map this tournament so far, we have Isengard being played by Old Nosey, and in the top, we've got Misty Mountains being played by, that's going to be Smeargollum. Playing Misty Mountains up top here. Interesting thing to note about this map, and I wonder if it's why it's not picked as often, is you're not in the corner. Notice I said bottom and top, so you're kind of fully exposed to all sorts of different attacks here. But obviously that means there's lots of room for different types of harass plays and whatnot. So I guess we'll see what these players go for. We see Smeargollum is putting down his Goblin Cave first, so he will not be starting with an Orc Lodge. And let's see what Nosey's doing here. We've got the clan steading going. And that's about it. So we're going to see some Wildmen harass from Nosey to be met by some Screechers and potentially some Archers. I think without the forward tunnel for Misty Mountains here, the Wildmen, I guess it'll just depend on the numbers these guys are outputting. I would put my money on the Wildmen to kind of out-harass the Goblins here without too much tunnel positioning. But we do see the Lodge going up immediately, so I don't think he's going to commit super hard to too many Goblins. We also have some Scorpion creeps on this map on the east and west poles here, with auxiliary camps, and in Harad for the evil factions that should be the Mahood Spearmen. So I wonder, I think the other auxiliary camp is over here. I just want to check and make sure. Yeah, these guys are just going to ignore each other. This is going to, for a 1-to-1, the Wildmen are going to do more damage to the buildings faster than the Goblins can. And these Wildmen are going to try and clean these guys up. These guys are just hanging out in the desert. Yeah, this is going to go poorly. I guess with Poison Blades, we'll see how this trade goes, but I'm pretty sure this is quite favorable to the Wildmen of Dunland here. Very much so. In fact, these Wildmen are going to try and get on top of this tunnel, being chased down by these Screechers. Decent clump on the back end here. Not a lot of surface area for the Goblins quite yet. And there it is. Oh, geez, I missed the Wargs already. They've howled in and completely crushed this battalion of Screechers. That was fast. 500 for the pit, and 425 for each battalion of Wargs. So, Nosey's committing to the Wargs. This is the time to commit to the Wargs as well. With the Lodge out, I don't think the Wargs are going to be relevant for too long. But if he can get all... I mean, he's getting a ton of damage done already. I think... Yeah, Nosey is taking control of the map quite quickly, and I think doubling down on the caves without enough units is not going to work out for Smeargollum here, as Isengard is all over the place. Mountain Orc Brute's going to try and get on top of these Wargs. He's going to lose a few of them here, but every is under attack here. I mean, he's even losing caves. So far, not looking so good. A little bit of a cheeky trample here from the Wargs, but power and numbers here are going to protect most of these guys. Nosey's all over the place. So I think Smeargollum's going to need to consolidate and try and deal with these guys. Having the Brutes in the cave is going to help him out significantly here. The Howl is still active on these guys, so they're pretty powerful. Fighting in these little towns here. Yeah, 2 battalions of Wargs. Actually, these guys getting caught by the Poison Blades. Yeah, see, the Wargs are going to be pretty fragile, so if they get caught out of position like this and maybe cornered by the spears, then he could be in trouble here, but I think Yeah, I think Smeargollum's going to be able to hold this off for long, but not before losing quite a few tunnels and a goblin cave here. So Nosey getting the damage that he wants done. We'll have to see what he wants to tech into. He's still committing to the wargs. I mean, not to say that they were not effective, but I wonder if the time of the warg has already passed. The brutes are a pretty decent spear unit here. These guys are going to be level 2, so going to get some money for this harass here. Probably not going to escape this. We've got more wildmen on top of this tunnel, getting level 2 off of that kill. So yeah, the wildmen are going to do a great job here, taking over the map. These wargs are going to try and find a trample, but I think they're just going to get caught in the clump. Because once, I think against Misty Mountains, the wargs, a warg can trample one battalion of screechers, but once the screechers start to clump up and you add brutes in the mix, there's not going to be much that the wargs are going to succeed in killing. But the speed is certainly nothing to be, and this is not Sharku, this is, we've got Lurtz. Trying to say, there's no Uruk pit yet, so his leadership is not quite in effect, but the wargs here are going to escape. The men of Dunland trying to disguise themselves as part of the Mount Nork army for a second here. Warg's going to retreat. A few wargs going to be lost to those pikes. I mean, uh-oh. He might lose a battalion here by accident. Furnace is going to go down. Good attack by, good counterattack from Smeargollum here. And if he's able to clean up these wildmen bought their torches. Torches is going to be a pretty expensive unit, but going to make quick work of the higher armored resource building here. Golfin Bull hits the field. Going to get the trample on those wildmen, but these torches made quick work of the treasure trove. Let's see where we're at power points wise. So yeah, as we expected, Nosey just kind of has control of the map. 700 max CP. He's even building lumber mills, and we saw he went Vision of the Palantir. I didn't even notice him using that, and not usually seen. The speed buff and vision, but it's going to turn into the Fires of Industry if he would like. I believe that, and Tainted Land. So he might go for the eco buff here to keep his money up. Golfin Bull going to get a quick level up, but it's going to run right into the Dunish pikes. Or the Wildman pikes. This is not where he wants to be. Gollum's going to be able to react quickly enough to get him out of here. Okay. I think we have Lurtz over here. Lurtz is not a high enough level yet for Cripple. He's kind of getting caught in some goblin clumps over here as well. And Golfin Bull did escape, is starting to heal up already. A good Misty Mountains clump getting on top of these wildmen. Some more wargs. He's eased up on the warg production, it seems. Maybe not. But Lurtz with a few wild men going to take a bit of a forward position here. They should be able to handle these guys pretty cleanly. He's still in bow mode, taking a little bit of damage from these specialists here. But gaining enough levels to finally get Cripple, which he'll need to track down Golfin Bull here. Some skirmishes here and there. Some wargs go running right to their death into these Mount Nork brutes who are almost level 3. Goblins getting on top of the armory here, protected by some brutes, so well played there by Smeargollum. Lurtz is in bow mode, but these guys are going to be able to hop on top of this tunnel, so trading some resource structures here. Uruk scouts finally hitting the field, so we do see actually 2 Uruk pits with the upgrade going immediately for the second one. He does not want to stop Uruk scout production while he moves into the Uruk high. This is not a cheap endeavor, but as we see, he did go for Fires of Industry. And we've got Wormtongue on the field as well, gaining some levels against these brutes. If he's able to retreat in time, he should be okay. Is that... Where is Golfin Bull? I don't see Golfin Bull. Oh, Golfin Bull's over here, leading a side attack, but like Lurtz is all up in Smeargollum's business over here. Decent trample here from the wargs, finding some unprotected archers, and gonna try and make their escape. Golfing Ball, I'm not quite sure what he's going for here. He's not going to be able to get the Warg Pit by any means. I guess he's just kind of scouting to try and get some information on if there's going to be a counterattack while these guys get the Furnace, so not too bad. Golfing Bull kind of sneaking right past Lurtz, who does have level... Oh, and he is going to get the Trample. The Cripple doesn't go off until before the Misty Mountains army comes to reinforce, so he's going to be okay there. The wargs are chasing down this camel, which is booking it, dude. Look at this guy. Big skirmish here in the middle. We see these wild men getting some levels while... Golfing Bull is trying to get a pretty aggressive trample in on these guys. Is he going to get the Wolf Summon off at least? No, dude. The scouts are going to take Golfing Bull down. And the scouts should be able to turn this battle in favor of Isengard. I believe that was... that felt like an Ugluk buff. Is Ugluk in here? Yes, he is. So that was Orcish Medicine for sure. And we obviously have Lurtz's leadership buffing these guys. So huge win for Isengard here in the center, even with the Misty Mountains crows. Small skirmish over here, which the Uruk-hai scouts in defensive mode are going to be able to tank these goblins for quite some time, while Isengard takes a forward position with Ugluk and Wormtongue taking down this treasure trove, or goblin horde. With Fires of Industry, it seems that Isengard was able to take a pretty big hero advantage, which makes sense considering all of the early game damage that was done to Smeargollum's economy. Smeargollum able to kind of keep the game going with such a brutal open. He has survived this long and is able to kind of keep him at bay, but at this point, Isengard is knocking on his door without much of an answer. Some goblins maybe going to get a couple of extra furnaces, but Nosey is not hurting for cash right now. He's not hurting for CP. He's got a massive standing army. But Smeargollum's staying at a 700 max CP, which is fine. But he's going to lose one of his unit productions here. While Fellwind may scatter them for the time being, this is going to go down. And we actually see 2 giant bats on the field. I didn't even notice that this was now a level 2 troll lair. Troller Stew going back to actually cover the retreat for Isengard. There's going to be nowhere for them to go. Actually, Smeargollum with a pretty solid defense here. The heroes are going to run out. Lurtz is going to make it. Wormtongue should make it, especially with stealth available. And backstab available if Golfing Bull should get too close. The cripple plus Wormtongue combo. The Golfing Bull is getting a little ballsy running around out here with Lurtz out on the field. Getting some levels, has his Wolf Summon available. Look at the damage on these giant bats on these 2 Warg packs here. Crazy damage. The Uruk Pike's going to take down this level 2, maybe even level 3 tunnel here. Bill, Bert, and Tom here trying to disrupt some things. Golfing Bull running right into some Dunner Spears, but I guess just missing it. Summoning the Wolves, getting crippled as we thought. There's a huge Isengard clump here, but between Wormtongue and the fighting Uruk-hai, Golfing Bull is easily caught out of position by Lurtz and is going to fall with these Uruk-hai pikemen taking on these cheap screechers here, having no issues, and a massive mid-tier army from Isengard already, while Misty Mountains is still on early game units without any heroes. I don't know if Golfing Bull is the choice. Once you've got Lurtz with Cripple kind of manning the field here, Golfing Bull is going to have to play a pretty careful role if he doesn't want to get caught out. But Nosey just kind of taking control of this match. We can even see he's got the Wisdom of Kuranir upgrades already on the fortress for the fighting Uruk-hai. Just a huge display of dominance here from Nosey. This army is going to far outclass the early game units here, not to mention the Wisdom of Kuranir and Lurtz buffing all of these Uruks. Ugluk in here is got it. I mean, where is Ugluk? I'm trying to find him in this massive people here. There he is. Can I get him? He's not quite level 5 yet, so he doesn't have his huge damage boost. If Ugluk was level 5, I would almost say he could run in on top of the fortress and give him the what is it, 100? Yeah, it's 100% damage buff, and just nuke the fortress. But he's taking his time, taking a good position here. Orcish Medicine going off, while the giant bats are not a bad choice here. The ranged units for Isengard are definitely they're lacking in ranged units. It's alerts and maybe 1 or 2 battalions of scouts. We do see the Gundabad Wolf Riders coming in, which also isn't a terrible choice. This is an admirable defense here from Smeargollum. I don't think it's going to hold for too much longer, but he's getting decent tramples, and Isengard is not focusing down these wolves just yet. And with the bats, they're actually going to be able to hold this attack off for quite some time. Uruk crossbowmen here to counter the bats, I'm assuming. Yeah, an admirable defense here from Misty Mountains. I probably would have called GG already. But with 3 giant bats, that's nothing to shy away from. Wormtongue is level 7. Yeah, now the Wolf Riders are getting caught by some of the ranged units from Isengard as well. Let's see, we're at a max CP here. We've got Build Me an Army in the base, pumping out the free units. The economy is really effective here for Isengard. Watcher in the Water is going to be summoned for Misty Mountains. Give him a little bit of reprieve. We even see the Shield Bearers. I love seeing the Shield Bearers out on the map. But Carnage at level 6 is going to be doing a ton of damage. Going to destroy the troll layer that was producing these bats. So these are the last bats that he's going to have for some time. Lurtz is going to be on the retreat here. No ranged units. He's actually got the most forward siege works you could possibly have. Lurtz now switching to range to be able to take care of these bats. Are not going to... Yeah, oh, man. Orcish Medicine... The bats are doing respectable damage to Lurtz, but with Orcish Medicine, I think... I don't know, even with Orcish Medicine, he's going to have to retreat. I love the bats here from Smeargollum. If he was able to keep the troll layer alive for longer and keep that production up, that was going to be a thorn in Nosey's side for quite some time. But now the level 2 siege works is up and running. We've got the Ballista here to start the slow murder here. I haven't even looked at powers for Misty Mountains yet. We did see the Watcher. Yeah, we've seen all of these already, so no surprises here. Only 5 now to speak of. Whereas we've got 17 power points. There is not another tier 3 available, however. Fires of Industry is on the edge, so we're either gonna see the tier 4, or he's gonna have to start down a whole nother tree. But I think with these Siege Ballista and this massive army, buffed army, Gulf and Bull again, tragically getting caught once again by the spears. I don't think Gulf and Bull is the way, so to speak. The speed buff and a little bit of damage on the wargs is nice, but Lurtz is just gonna counter that guy every day. Like, that's going to be off cooldown by the time the revive counter can even be finished up, let alone having to afford it. I mean, I don't think he's doing great on money. There's even this furnace that far ahead of the base. Still, even to this moment, getting some decent tramples from the wargs, but on defensive stance plus Lurtz armor buff, these guys aren't even going to fall. They might get some buildings here, but I think... oh, man. Ugluk going to buff these guys with all of it. Trollish Stew getting summoned right next to it, but this is going to be the final attack, and there it is. GG. A little bit of a surrender there from Smeargollum. Good first game. Nosey establishing some early dominance with those wargs, but Smeargollum making the most out of a bad situation, able to kind of defend with his own cavalry and bats for a little bit there, but there was no stopping the endless tide of Uruk-hai. that was the Isengard industry build with Build Me an Army in the background. Just way too much Isengard for Misty Mountains to handle there. So, all right, and we're back already with game 2 of Nosey versus Old Nosey versus Smeargollum. So in the bottom left on Jaranit, we've got Mordor being played by Smeargollum. So Smeargollum must have picked this map. And we do see that we have an auxiliary camp guarded by some wargs over in the bottom right and in the top left. And the camp unit should be the Lossoth Hunters for both players, regardless of race. So let's go look up in the top right. And we actually have Harad being played by Old Nosey. Love to see that. In the snowy region of Forodwaith. Only in competitive play here. We've got 2 Bazaars into the Mahood Gathering, which seems to be a popular opening since the release to the public. Seeing a lot of Mahood starts, which is excellent. Some slave farms, nothing crazy. Actually, we are seeing something crazy here. We have a troll cage hitting the field first. We've seen some of this in, I believe it was Smeargollum versus Ulrich in round 1. Ulrich hit Smeargollum with a cheeky troll start, so we'll see how well it works out for him this time around. We've got an architect running to scout. I'd bet money that we've got some dry spell action if he's able to find a juicy enough target. Smartly enough, though, hasn't selected dry spell just in case there isn't a good target for him or something bad happens to his architect here. The vision radius on the architect is going to be quite low, but he'll see this slave farm over here, and let's see. He might very well go for the dry spell opening. He should not yet have seen the troll cage. I don't even know if these Mahood have seen it. Now he does. So now he knows the trolls are going to come out of here, and this troll is actually almost finished. So let's see what we've got over on this side. He's going to want spears to help deal with the trolls, which are not going to happen for quite some time. I don't see a single building that's going to be able to build those yet. He'll obviously need the outpost. Mordor barracks already hitting the field. But these Mahood know that this slave farm is going to be exposed well enough. But the troll is going to be fast. I'd love to see the troll versus the Mahood to kind of counter the speed. I don't know which one is faster, but they're going to have... he's going to have a better time chasing these down than the orcs. Mahood getting on top of this one as well with the Ungol trackers trying to counter. This is not what Smeargollum wants to be doing with that troll. He does not want to be on the defensive with the troll. So I think he's not as pleased with this opening as he would have liked, but he's not super far behind. He's got the barracks out. He's producing orcs here, and he hasn't yet lost a building here. So the troll getting decent trample on top of these Mahood. Very, very good for Smeargollum here, keeping him in the game. A few of these guys still buffed from the Horn are getting on top of this slave farm, but he's doing a pretty good job of defending here. Actually, though, the Mahood headhunters getting on top of a builder and going to blow these guys out of the water. These Ungol trackers tracking. Not going to be able to finish off these Mahood, but without level 2, those guys aren't going to regenerate for quite some time. All right, so Smeargollum retaining control of this side of his map without losing a single slave farm to this Mahood start. So I think he's going to see that maybe as a victory at this point, even if the trolls were not able to get some damage on the other side of the map. He was able to defend against this Mahood start pretty well, while these headhunters, though, might be able to. He's doing some good micro and ordering the troll to run over as many units as he can in combination with the basic attacks, and is able to survive just in time. If he's able to get him back home to eat an orc, he should be good to heal up a little bit there. We've got another troll running around to try and protect over here. I think it's going to be just enough. Some auto attack cancels there. Going to allow these Mahood to survive, but they're not going to be much of a threat. Smeargollum finally going on the offensive now, crossing the middle gap here, and is going to see what kind of damage he can find. I think the headhunters The headhunters should be able to handle this troll pretty quickly. I think he recognizes this. Find an orc to eat should have been available at level 1, so I would have hoped to see that from Smeargollum. He's not concerned about the health of that troll currently. Maybe he just doesn't notice. We've got some orcs coming around the way here, but this is not going to be... These orcs are not going to be a threat with the headhunters, and we do have the outpost pumping out some warlords for the spears. So I like to see the archers with the troll to maybe provide some extra damage and backup should he come under fire from trolls or others. He's going to hop right onto the Mahood gathering, and if he doesn't come... If Nosey doesn't come to defend this soon enough, he might actually lose this. These archers are going to want to start focusing whatever units this warlord is about to summon, and we'll see what happens here. But a Nazgul has now hit the field for Smeargollum. Let's see. Nope, the spears were able... The spears plus the Mahood finding a really, really good angle here to get some free attacks. Ultimately, this is going to result in no damage done unless the Nazgul is able to fix this. Good trample from the Nazgul on top of the headhunters. If he had this guy over sooner, he might have been able to defend the troll a little bit earlier. Let's see how it goes for Smeargollum here as the orcs plus Ungol trackers are taking on these headhunters, which are now using the Twilight's Mistress, the poison darts. This Nazgul's gonna want... This Nazgul has a really good trample opportunity here if he's able to avoid the... Yep. See, I did that too. In my mind, I would have tried to trample it, but he's able to skirt the edge of these Harondor... Not Harondor spears, but the tribal spears here. A Mumok actually coming out in time for Nosey. I didn't even notice that this was level 2. That's a huge, huge purchase, making the troll's defeat even sadder here. Crazy trample from the Mumok here. The headhunters gonna make short work of any remaining orcs. Oh, how the tides have turned. By not getting this Mahood gathering and getting the Muma kill out, it is now going to be a really hard... there's like a new objective earned, or new objective for Harad, which is... Or for Mordor, which is kill this Muma kill. And I think he's going to have a hard time doing it. Having the pikes here is good. They've got the horde bonus. But without fire arrows, it's probably going to be difficult for him to handle this. And we've got the artillery support from these headhunters, which do really, really good against these spam units. He's just going to walk right on top of these guys. Trample them. Yeah, this Mumok is going to be a real bear for Smeargollum to handle here. I don't see... I must have missed the Nazgul dying. He must have just run into some pikes. Because I do not see the Nazgul anymore. 2 trolls getting on top of the headhunters, clearing that out. That's going to be good. The Mumok is forced to retreat here. And we've got some tribals headed around the eastern flank to see what damage they can find. They're going to run into these 2 trolls. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose both of them. Oh, no! Okay, so the trolls survive. If he switches to attack, he's gonna kill the Bazaar for free, but that's a lot of damage onto these trolls that he was probably not prepared to take. And the pikemen are still alive here. Oh, that's a lot of damage on those trolls. The Mumok coming in, coming back out, has picked... they have the Mahood Headhunters garrisoned in the Mumok. Alright. What is going to be Smeargollum's answer to this? He's upgraded this... the Black Uruks are not... I don't know. He's got 10 power points with the Horn of the Serpent Lord. A crazy trample, an unbelievable trample into the... He's sacrificing this Mumok. I don't think it's going to be able to survive the Nazgul chasing it down, but killing a lot of orcs in the process. We'll see if that was worthwhile. The Headhunter is going to be sacrificed as well by being garrisoned in there. So maybe a pretty memey trample there from old Nosey. Just couldn't resist the clump of units there. I think we all know how that feels. But he is going to sacrifice the Mumok for just a couple of orcs. So a pretty decent trade there for Smeargollum. How is he going to respond? He's got the harassing Nazgul, doing pretty, mediocre damage against this Bazaar, but damage nonetheless. The Ungol trackers actually going to bait out the Horn for Harad, Horn of the Serpent Lord, to try and get this level 2 Slave Farm. I don't know if they have enough damage here to get it, but they might if Mordor can't get the right angle to deal with these guys. The Nazgul gonna be able to take down that Bazaar and bait out a few more tribal spearmen summons to make their retreat. So a win there for Smeargollum. But actually, the Horn of the Serpent Lord, I should never doubt Nosey. Horn of the Serpent Lord on 1 battalion of Axemen is going to take down a level 2 slave farm and beginning attacks on another one, probably. Or no, he's going to circle around for another target. Maybe another builder. He's already killed one this game. Let's see what we've got here. We've got the Nazgul kind of returning now. No one seems interested in the Lossoth this match. Not even creeping those. I don't know if that's an active choice, not wanting those units, or if it's just kind of getting used to these new maps. A warlord kill gonna prematurely end this battalion while they go for the level 2 thing here. We've got a skirmish over here on the east as well. In the east, as these pikemen are going at it with a drummer troll for backup. This Mordor builder is not in a good place. Yep. Gonna get another builder kill. How many... does that leave any builders for Mordor? I'm not sure if I can tell. But the Black Uruks are starting to get produced kind of en masse here. Let's see. This is going to be a tough one for... This is only level 1. I think between this clumping, these Black Uruks are not going to be able to kill these guys fast enough to protect yet another slave farm from going down. But there's a massive fight here in the middle that I shouldn't be ignoring. We've got the fear from the drummer troll being activated, but it's not going to be enough. The headhunters actually do not stop firing, and they were level 5 using Red Serpent's Venom, stunning some battalions here. The Nazgul getting some decent damage off, and Caran-Lambar here in the mix, preventing... that's why the headhunters were... Or no, he needs level... I believe he needs level 5 for the fear resistance. So, we've got the Harad summon from Mordor, kind of starting a bit of a civil war over here as another Mumok enters the field. I'm trying to keep track of Caran-Lambar in this mess as he's just making quick work of all these orcs. And we've got the 2 Nazgul leading the Mordor contingent of Harad over here in the top, trying to take... If they can take down this caravan, that would not be a bad win here. The Screech going for one of the Nazgul does not seem to have... it's stunning these guys a little bit. They're able to take down the trade caravan. They will not be selling their curved swords for now. Large Mordor battalion here. Gonna scare off this Mumok. While a drummer troll and a regular troll coming here, the CC from the drummer troll on top of the spears is going to keep this mountain troll alive for just a second. And the fear is going to... Yep, the headhunters are going to be able to take down the drummer troll. And if he's not careful, this guy is going to go down too. He was almost able to get away with him. Let's see, we've got 2 Nazgul coming around here. I think with the summon, they were also able to take down a Bazaar, so lots of things happening on the map at this time. Caran-Lambar is in his own Carnage Cup, getting some decent levels on these Black Uruks, defending this part of the map. And for now, Mordor is thwarted. Both Nazgul are alive? Is this, yeah, we've got Gorbag here. But I think one of the Nazgul must have fallen there. And the last of this Black Uruk battalion is getting chased down by the speed of the Mahood. Large Mordor attack force coming around here. It's going to make quick work of these pikes, but it's going to allow Harad to move forward here. And we'll see if he wants to get a flank. If he's able to pincer these guys in here, this is a Mumok trample for the ages. But it seems like Nosey is just going to go for the counter damage and allow Mordor to make that decision. This level 2, 75% of the way to level 3, very high value slave farm is going to fall to this. So Mordor is going to have to get some good damage done. There's probably a good opportunity to get some good clumping in here, but it's not being taken advantage of yet. An Olog High, we must have... do we not need... I guess I'm feeling kind of touristy. I thought it needed Morgul Sorcery, but that does not seem the case. So the level 2 Mahood Pit is going down. Oh, here's the trample from the Mumok. Misses it by quite a little bit, but is able to shave off a decent amount here, leaving only the pikes. But it is too late to defend its where it grew up, its high school, if you will. Harad coming here. Oh no, the Nazgul must have pathed wrong. Nazgul trying to meet up with its army here is going to run straight into some Harad pikes, while Caran-Lambar comes from the rear to defeat these archers. They might lose. The Mumok is buffing this armor on the bazaar here, so we'll see if it's enough damage. But I don't think they're going to be able to take down the level 3 bazaar. So huge win for Harad here, thwarting this attack. Losing the second Nazgul there was quite unfortunate. He had just rebuilt the other one. Over here on the left, we've got an Olog High trying to jump on top of this. I don't know who wins this one-on-one, actually. It's doing surprisingly little damage to this. The Mahood is going to take on this slave farm. I would almost rather him see, like, what, it would take 4 or 5 attacks to take down this bazaar, and then he could run away. So the Olokai getting a little distracted here. We've got a Nazgul trying to finish off this level 3, bazaar before the Horandor, it's going to summon the spears right on top. Is able to escape. Nope, not able to escape in time. Clever play there by Nosey. It was a valiant effort to try and take down such a high-value target, but the summon there is too cheeky. Large attack force from Harad coming on the western flank, which we haven't seen much action on lately. The Harad chariot, which is still around for some time. The Khandish chariot, my apologies. So getting right on top of the fortress here. Oh, man. So Breaker of Stone, dealing some decent damage to some buildings here. This level 3 slave farm, which has been with him since the beginning, is probably going to fall to... Yeah, Caran-Lambar is just going to poke at that one and take his level 5 while taking down this level 3 farm. Up here, we're maybe killing a caravan, but it looks like Casimir is able to hold the defenses from whatever attack from Mordor was over here, and Caran-Lambar is just wreaking havoc, carnage, you might say, in Mordor's base here. Gorbag has his dropkick to maybe stun Caran-Lambar here. Will we see the stun? Oh, come on, we've got to see the stun. Where did Gorbag go? Yep, okay, so Gorbag is able to get off the kill there on Caran-Lambar, but Caran-Lambar did his damage, took down the level 3 slave farm, took down the upgraded Mordor barracks, and allowed for the Mumok to take down this slave farm. The Mumok is also alive and kicking with some Mahood headhunters garrisoned in there. Nosey starting to expand a little bit more towards the center as this Olog High was kind of trying to find some damage here, but Casimir, mounted, was able to chase him down and now has his Rule of the King's Men available. So, didn't even... I wish I had seen that. But the Mumok getting caught out by some Orc pikemen, probably ferried into some less than ideal circumstances by this Nazgul and Olog High. So the Olog High is going to try and get on top of this bazaar, but is going to have to deal with these pikes first. One swipe should do it. He's going to dismount the Nazgul. He's not willing to lose these guys anymore. A little bit of a Mahood skirmish over here, while these tribals are going to get on top of here. We just heard Shelob getting summoned. I want to see where. Shelob being summoned to defend against this small attack. Hopefully that's worthwhile for him. It was only a Mahood clubs and tribal spears, so hopefully he's able to reposition Shelob into a more advantageous position soon. We've got Casimir, the Lone Ranger, trying to get some extra harass done and just keep Mordor moving around using the spiderlings on his side of the map instead of the enemy side of the map. But this Olog High and Nazgul contingency force getting some good damage. Unfortunately, Screech is not available here. Massive swipe from the Olog High before falling. I would almost, yeah, I was going to say I would love to see either the trackers or the summon from He is Gathering All Evil to him to defend here. Spiderlings getting some good value defending. Shelob trying to chase down Casimir, but without maybe the Fell Stinger was used, but it was not enough to end Casimir. So Casimir and some other... Oh, man. I have yet to see a game from Nosey where he does not build the Mahood, Subjugation Mahood, so that he's got this summon for moments just like this. Just when you think you have a chance and you've got a good opportunity to come in with a cheeky attack, he's always got this Oliphant summon ready. So we're going to be able to defend these traitorous Haradrim here. Gorbag is just randomly in the mix here, unfortunately getting caught, probably giving levels to Casimir there. This Nazgul, now level 7, is also... Oh no! The Nazgul needs to retreat as well. I mean, this might... Yeah, that's... I was going to say, that looks like somebody who's given up at this point. Without an army to speak of, Smeargollum is going to retreat as his final-ditch effort there to kind of gain some control back in the match was thwarted by the summoned Oliphant and losing his heroes to some unlucky control there. Awesome stuff. Nosey versus Smeargollum in round 2 of the Caran-Lambar Carnage Cup. Game 2 goes to Nosey, and Nosey will move on to the next round. I'm hoping to, if I have some time, to start casting some more games from this tournament, starting with the round 2 matches, but we'll see. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully be back with you guys with some new casts soon. All right, talk to you later. Bye.